a quick video of Valerie Plame responding to this pardon. Let's take a quick look.
This is definitely not about me. It's absolutely not about Scooter Libby. It's about Donald Trump and his future. It's very clear that this is a message he is sending that you can commit crimes against national security and you will be pardoned. So I think he's got an audience of 3 right now. That would be Manafort, Flynn, and Kushner, and perhaps others. The message being sent is you can commit perjury and I will pardon you if it protects me and I deem that you are loyal to me. I think the message is very damaging to our democracy and the rule of law.
And let's not forget, Valerie Plame was outed because her husband Joe Wilson had talked about the
yellow cake,
and said that the war that we shouldn't go into Iraq, and so it was a vindictive move to leak her name and put her life at risk. So it all just goes back to listen. I keep saying, obviously, I'm on the left politically, but if someone comes to me and goes, look at the stuff that people on the left did to out somebody or to put someone's life in danger, I'm going to admit it. I'm going to take that and go, you're right. If you say under Obama there was a lot of drone attacks, there were a lot of drone attacks. I agree. I will accept that. It's crazy to me how on the right, a lot of people sit there and go, you know what, this was a good thing. This guy didn't do anything that bad. He put someone's life at risk that was an operative, and the only reason why was because of the vindictiveness that he had the balls or the gall to say that the war with Iraq was not right.
Jake and I talk about that all the time, how on the left, we have incredibly high standards for one another. And if someone does something wrong, we have no problem calling that individual out, whether it has to do with someone accused of sexual misconduct or doing something illegal while in government or in office. We are ready and willing to call them out. And we did call out Obama specifically for those drone strikes over and over again. But when it comes to the right, they are so incredibly loyal to one another. They don't care. They will stick by one another no matter what. There are no standards, no principles whatsoever.
We have, on my show, I have to say, we've sort of adopted the rule that we can't keep saying, what if Obama had done this? Because you know what? Every freaking day, right? Every day. What if Obama had paid off, a former
porn star,
$130,000? Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, Bill, I try not to do it, but I did it again 2 days ago on the tweets. Like the tweets are so maniacal. The McCabe tweet today, where he's screaming at the top of his lungs like a petulant child. Any one of those tweets from Obama would have launched a dozen congressional investigations and probably 25th Amendment hearings. Like, has this man lost his mind?
Let alone calling somebody a slime ball, the president of the United States.
You know what it feels like? It feels like we've seen this where there's an abusive boyfriend or husband in a relationship with a girl, and you see it and you're like, why? Like, why don't you get out of this? I feel like the Republican that are the abused girlfriend, and this guy's the abusive boyfriend, and I see it. I'm like, well, what you just said. Don't you see this tweet? Don't you see how crazy this tweet is? The tweet about maybe we will attack Syria in the future, but maybe we won't. However the wording was.
Maybe it'll be soon. Maybe it'll be a long time from now. I'm paraphrasing.
Whatever it is, it's every day, like you said, 10 tweets a day. Republicans that are watching this, please just look at the facts and sit there for a second and go, okay, you know what? I still adhere to Republican principles, but this dude is not good for the world. He's bad.
But that's the reason they don't. They know that. I mean, look at the anonymous congressman that talked to Eric Erickson the other day, saying that he's an evil effing Forrest Gump, and a dumb one at that. Forrest Gump was mentally damaged, and he's saying he's dumber than Forrest Gump. So, and that's a Republican congressman sitting right now, and it pretends to defend him on Fox News, according to that report. So they know, but the problem is their base, is either equally stupid or just doesn't care that he's maniacally stupid. Because they see those tweets. It's not like people aren't talking about the tweets. It's not like they can't see them with their own eyes. They do. And they all agree, not that the emperor doesn't have clothes. He doesn't have clothes, but they say, yeah, he does. They used to do that with George Bush. No, this guy's right. Yeah, this guy's fine. Yeah, he can put sentences together. No, he can't. It's super obvious. In this case, they have agreed that the emperor has a mind, when it's clear that the emperor has no mind. Like he's lost his mind completely. And there's 33% of the country who will not move, who looks at a man who is clearly mentally unbalanced and goes, nailed it. Yeah. Nailed it. So, and we have to respect those guys. It's madness.
They not only tolerate these tweets, they love them.
They do. I'm glad that you brought that up.
They do, because they think they sit on there to shake them up and take them all on. Republicans and Democrats, they're sick, I think, but they love them. The truest thing Donald Trump ever said was that old line about, I could go out in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and nobody would do anything. You know what? He is dead right on that.
He was right on that. And also, you got to remember the bubble that, the Trump base lives in. And what I mean by that is the type of news content they consume. So the news content that they consume justifies the types of tweets that he puts out there, because he presents himself as some sort of victim, someone who's, the subject of a witch hunt. And then all you hear on Fox News and Breitbart and all of these other media organizations is that he's a victim here, right? So they do love the tweets. They think he's telling it like it is. He's calling people out. They think he's being a tough guy. They don't know the reality necessarily of what's really going on behind the scenes.
And he was saying, drain the swamp. He was saying, fight the establishment. What you were saying, a lot of his followers, he's putting the establishment where they need to be. But here's Scooter Libby, who was part of the establishment. He was part of the Bush administration that he's criticized. He says, I was against the Iraq war, even though he said on Howard Stern he was for the Iraq war. Now then he was against the Iraq war. Now he's pardoning a guy who was involved with outing someone because of their opposition to the Iraq war. It just makes absolutely no sense.
If you want to get the whole Young Turks show every single day, become a member, tytnetwork.com/join. And once you do, you'll be saying,
I'm like a smart person.
Or you might say,
I think it's weird.
Or you might say,
oops.
No, that won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be great, trust me. tytnetwork.com/join.